Welcome to the Living the Dream podcast with Curveball. If you believe, you can achieve. Welcome to the Living the Dream with Curveball podcast, a show where I interview guests that teach, motivate, and inspire. Today, I am joined by seasoned leader Colby Varley. Colby works in the refrigerated transportation area. He serves as the vice president and co-owner of Advanced Transportation Services, better known as ATS. It is a non-asset-based carrier that has been around for 40 years. Colby has a unique background filled with hands-on experience and strategic leadership. So we're going to be talking to him about what he does and what he's up to. So Colby, thank you so much for joining me today.
Hey, Curtis, thanks so much for having me on. Happy to be here.
Why don't you start off by telling everybody a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. Born and raised here in Salinas, California, which is the salad bowl of the world. So for 8 months out of the year, we produce pretty much any leafy greens, bag salads that you might find at your local supermarket or in a restaurant. It comes here from Salinas, most likely. Um, I had the opportunity to attend Fresno State University, graduated there with a bachelor's in ag business. As soon as I did that, I came back straight to Salinas and continued my work with a local asset-based trucking company, which we specialized in less than truckload or LTL freight into the San Francisco and Los Angeles markets. And that was really the launch pad for me. I had a general understanding of some produce. My dad still to the day is a produce broker. So growing up, in and out of produce offices, whenever we'd travel somewhere, we'd normally visit like the local produce market or whatnot. So I've grown up around it, but working for that local LTL company was really a launch pad for me. Just the complexity of what they did, um, you know, leaving Salinas at midnight with, 8 to 10 customers on a truck, down to LAX to, 5, 6 deliveries with, to catch a flight, at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. I mean, we were doing what FedEx couldn't even do, or still to this day, they can't do it. FedEx, UPS, you got to have a parcel in by 4 to get it overnighted by the next day. I mean, we were leaving 6, 8 hours after them and beating them to the punch. So, and then in 20, I guess it's going to be 9 years this year. So, had the opportunity to come to ATS as a salesperson and worked my tail off. And in March of 2024, had the opportunity to buy out some existing partners that had taken the company 40 years. And my partner and I now are looking to take it another 40.
Yeah, so kind of tell us about ATS.
Yeah, so we're pretty unique. We were formed in 1984 to service the fresh fruit and produce industry. And now that's changed to pretty much any highly perishable food and produce. So we are a niche brokerage. I would say 99% of our business is some sort of refrigeration, whether that's frozen or fresh. That's what we haul. We service all North America. We do around 500 shipments a week, and it's really been built off service. There's obviously a lot of competition in what we do. We are not the cheapest option. We are not striving to be the cheapest option. We're striving to be the best option. So, we do charge for what the service that we provide, but we feel that We provide a service. And obviously the customer is very important to us as well as our vendors, our carriers. Um, those relationships are just as important. Obviously, we wouldn't be here without them. And I think that's really been the key to our success is being able to balance your customer and your carrier group the same. Sometimes brokerages can get a bad rap for being tough or not so great to their carrier base, and that is definitely not us. Our leadership drove a truck. I had the opportunity to drive a truck. Um, a lot of our employees have driven trucks or worked in the industry in different facets of the business. And I think that's enabled us to take us where we are.
Well, I know you say that you guys aren't the cheapest, but you do provide, premium services in a price-driven industry. So, kind of tell us how you guys are successful, even though you might not be the cheapest option. Why do people choose you when they could choose a cheaper option?
Well, there's a lot that goes into that, and especially you have to look at the total cost. So what I mean by that is, let's just say, for example, I'm $300 higher than somebody else on a particular shipment. Well, if that particular shipment that you think that you're going to save $300 on by getting another service, and that truck is not as reliable, or your risk factor goes up 10x, um, and now that load of produce that was supposed to be there on Sunday night at midnight for you to sell to your customers isn't there until Tuesday night at midnight, and you had to go source all that product from your neighbor to cover your orders, and now you just spent $2,000 more than what you would have paid on that produce. Did you really save that $300? So that's kind of our approach. Our on-time delivery metrics are, 97, 98, 99% for most of our customers. And we track all of that data and share all of that data with our customers. I'd say it's become a very data-driven business. Are you on time? Are you rejecting tenders? What's your load to claim ratio? Uh, and that's another big thing. Unfortunately, in this business, things do happen, right? Accidents happen, whether it's the driver's fault, whether it's a car in front of them's fault, or sometimes it's just a mechanical issue that something uh, becomes catastrophic. Our belief is that our customer or whoever is paying us to deliver that load shouldn't be responsible for going and fighting with the insurance company. And I don't know how many customers out there have had the opportunity to try and collect payment from a trucking insurance company, but I can tell you that it seems to be one of the most difficult things to do. I mean, they fight you tooth and nail to pay that bill, and we request an invoice from the customer and pay that invoice immediately. I need that customer to be selling more highly perishable food and produce, not fighting with an insurance company. Um, so that's another value add that we have. Other brokerages would provide the carrier's insurance and tell the customer good luck.
Well, tell us about some of the things you transport. Like what does an ATS transport?
Sure. So again, anything highly perishable food and produce. So strawberry, I mean, any fruits and vegetables. We service some protein customers, so beef, chicken, pork, seafood. A lot of that is frozen. There's also frozen foods, frozen vegetables, any kind of drinks, beverages. You got your tropical fruits, pineapples, bananas. So those are a majority of what we do is probably highly perishable produce. All your lettuces, um, broccoli, cauliflower. I mean, the list is endless. Melons, water. All the melons. So it's really a wide variety of different temperature controlled products.
Okay, well, your career path is amazing. You did it all from truck driving to dispatching. So, you have a lot of hands-on experience. So, talk to the listeners about, kind of your career path. I know you kind of mentioned some of it, but the importance of the way that your career path went.
Yeah, I was just I had a lot of great opportunities kind of come my way, and I took full advantage of those opportunities and was always striving for more, and how I could do more and be better and learn more. Um, but working really through every facet kind of from driving to loading trucks to unloading to seeing the physical product, all the different varieties. I mean, there's so many different pack sizes and different commodities. I mean, lettuce can come so many different ways, right? It could be celery, cello 24s, it could be liner 24s, it could be cello 30s, could be liner 30s. So learning all those little things, what it looks like, really was kind of the launch pad. I mean, for me, I can read something and understand it, but when you really are hands on, um, I do a lot better. So, going and picking up at some of these places, obviously earlier in my career, or delivering to some of these places, or, I knew I've been there. I've touched it. I've checked in there. I know exactly where the check-in office is, or I know the check-in guy, the guy that's behind the office window, and just trying to be polite, kind, friendly to everyone, and taking care of people, whether it's, sometimes you're running a little bit behind and it's like, hey, I'll send some pizzas over there tomorrow. You can make friends pretty quick on the cooler level or whatnot. So just took advantage of a lot of opportunities and um, just worked really hard. I mean, nothing's handed to you in this world, and I was kind of that was instilled in me in a young age, and I knew that success was obtainable, but it's just a long process, and it's just kind of like Groundhog Day, right? You got to wake up and do it every day, even though you don't sometimes feel like it, but just to get that little glimmer that um, the right thing's going to happen and you're going to propel yourself forward.
What advice would you give someone looking to break into the logistics industry?
The advice I would give is try and find exactly what niche you're trying to be in. Obviously, the logistics industry is huge, right? There's so many different niches. There's dry van, there's tanker, there's flatbed, there's heavy haul, refrigerated. Um, but from my experience, what I can see is the people that do really well are experts in their field. They really focus in on kind of one area, and they focus on that. They don't chase, oh, well, bulk hauling is paying better right now, so we're going to go do that for 6 months. And then, that's not so good. So then they're over, trying to do reefer because it's paying better for a second. Um, so I would try and find something that you like or you think, you can do well in, stick with that, find somebody that's an expert at it and try and apprentice or work with them um, to hone the skills necessary to, kind of become an expert in that field and just work at it every day for years. I mean, it takes years to get to get going.
Tell us about any upcoming projects that you and your company are working on that listeners need to be aware of.
Sure. So we're working on a new office building that we purchased. We're looking at renovating that. We're going from 1,800 square feet to about 5,800, and we're ready to grow. So I would invite anybody that is potentially thinking about becoming into refrigerated freight sales that wants to be a broker. We're going to have a ton of desks that we're going to be looking to fill. And, you can call me here at my office or send me an email, reach out to me. But I'd invite you to come sit down with us and see if we can't put something together.
Absolutely. And throw out your contact information so listeners can do that.
Yeah, so my email is Colby, that's Colby, at ATS Salinas, SALINAS.com. And our office phone number is area code 831-757-4244.
All right. We'll close this out with some final thoughts. Maybe if that was something I forgot to talk about that you would like to touch on, or any final thoughts you have for the listeners.
Any final thoughts? No, I appreciate you having me on the show. Obviously, I'm on all social media platforms. So I would invite any potential customer or any potential carrier that's interested in working with us. Let's get on a 15-minute discovery call and see if we can help each other. Again, my email is Colby at ATSSalinas.com. And my phone number is 831-757-4244.
Go, ladies and gentlemen, Colby at ATSSalinas.com. If you know anybody looking to get into the refrigerated transportation field or anything like that, send them this episode. Follow, rate, review, share. Jump on your favorite podcast app. Check out the show. Leave us a review. Follow us. Share it. Any guests or suggestion topics, Curtis Jackson 1978 at att.net is the place to send them. Thank you for listening and supporting the show. And Colby, thank you for all that we do. Thank you for getting us our fresh produce. And thank you for joining me.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
For more information on the Living the Dream podcast, visit www.djcurveball.com. Until next time, stay focused on living the dream.